Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you here. It's Wednesday. Matt Fargo, Kevin Thomas, as always, on a Wednesday MLB free pick video. Before we get to these little freebies, here you go. You're on the YouTube channel. Hit the like button. Thumbs up. Maybe thumbs down. Maybe you're annoyed because I gave you a loser yesterday. Matt got you a push. We're 49 to 45 with the free picks. Now we're minus 135. A little work to do, but I've got three winners lined up for you here on a Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday morning or Wednesday night, wherever you're watching, whatever time of day it is and you're a part of the world. We appreciate you coming in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notified about all of our free pick videos here at the Winner Circle YouTube channel. Now, you want our best bets, our top plays, all the good stuff, our top action, you know where to go, gamblersworld.net. I mentioned yesterday we have the MLB package up through the end of the regular season. But let's be honest. This is the real dog days, right? We got like July and August to kind of putter through. It's hot out. You're annoyed. You can't wait till the kids go back to school. NFL's right around the corner. Go get the season pass. It's less than $25 a week through the Super Bowl. We tell you the 3, 7, 30 days are guaranteed, right? You probably get your money back. Now, this is not a guaranteed package per se, but at $20-something a week, you waste that money. You waste that money on nonsense. Why not invest it in something you're going to get a good, as they say, a plus money return on with some NFL season-long action from any of the cappers here at gamblersworld.net. Now, let's you want free picks? We're ready to go. Kevin Thomas in the house with his old school Sixer. He's a big Armin Gillian fan back in the day. That's when I'm a Sixer fan. Barkley, Armin, back in those days. Hershey Hawkins, Johnny Dawkins. We're going to stay in the Philly area with the Phillies and the Red Sox. Mr. Luzardo on the hill. Lines come down a little bit here. 145 total is 8.5 here versus Giolito. Will the brooms be coming out today? For me personally, I look at this. Luzardo, he had a great start to the year, right? And you look at it, he's got this nice record. You see wins, and wins are very important, right? I come in here, I'll kill Skeens for being 4-8 on a team. People are like, oh, you should be Cy Young. I don't know about that. Same reason I don't think a guy who's 9-3 is great when he has a high ERA. His ERA was 1.94 at the start of May. It's 4.29 now, and you get that way by pitching to a 5.56, a 5.40, and a 5.92 ERA in July. He has not been good. And it is tough to sweep a team. I like Giolito in this spot. He's good to get roughed up every 6-7 starts. He had that his last one out, but I kind of contribute that a little bit to the All-Star break. Maybe he's a little slow coming out of the gate. You're going to give me 130 with the Sox here versus a guy who's getting worse by the week since May. I mean, he's just talking about going downhill. He was at the peak, and then he's rolling. He's like a little tumbleweed coming down or a snowball turning into I don't even know what a snowball turns into. It's something big, but it is not good, Kevin, for Luzardo here. What do you got?
Hey, Sean, unfortunately, I have Luzardo in my fantasy league, and I'm holding him. I know the inconsistencies there. Over his last 3, the 2 at home are what sticks out. I mean, he's got hit pretty hard. But the one road game in between there, 7 innings, they're selling us back here that he's tipping his pitches, that they're working with him not to. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, but the good news for the Phillies is that Sanchez went 9 innings. So if Luzardo does start to struggle, they can yank him out early, get that bullpen in there because they can go ahead and win this. They have an off day.
I lost you.
It is.
Lost the volume. Oh, there he is.
It is kind of like a coin flip with Giolito on the mound for the Red Sox. He's great against lefties. We know the Phillies are really heavy lefties, especially with their power hitters and Harper and Schwarber. So I think they could pitch around the guys like Turner, who has had success against him. On the other side, Luzardo, he has had trouble with Bergman. Last 11 at-bats, 4 hits, 2 of them home runs. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on Alex Bergman, home run plus 400 here. I think that's a nice little payoff there. You can get Turner RBI prop plus 150, but I think they pitch around him. You're going to have to look for guys like Otto, Sosa. I think Sosa's 2-1 against Lucas. So I would maybe look at one of those guys if you're into the RBI props, but I'm looking at this under 8.5, just the way Golito pitches against lefties, 217 batting average against. Better on the road as well. I think his EAR on the road's 2.55, and he's 3-1. So honestly, I'm not gonna. It's a coin flip on the game. As a sharp better, I would go Boston, but I'm liking this total 8.5. I think there's a lot, with the lack of offense the Phillies always put out there, the lack of power for the Red Sox in this kind of ballpark where home runs would fly out. I think this total is going to go 8.5. That's going to be my free winner of the 8.5 under.
Under 8.5, official free pick from Kevin Thomas today here between the Red Sox and Phillies. Matt Fargo, you got any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think the unders are definitely a liable pick here. Like the Phillies have scored 4 runs or less in 6 of the last 8 games. And, as Kevin mentioned, the bullpen's fresh. But I also have a lean to Boston as well. They faced Wheeler and Sanchez the first 2 games. Now they get a little bit of a break here with Luzardo, who he gave up 20 runs in 2 straight games back in end of May, early June, and he's been very inconsistent. And he gave up 5 runs against Cincinnati and 4 runs against the Angels in his last 2 home games. And Boston has not been hitting the ball very good at all. But I think it's a good spot for them to sneak a win out here and avoid the sweep. But their offense has been shut down since the break, and I think 8.5. I think it's a good spot for the under.
Yeah, I tend to agree with the 8.5 here. I like a little bit the Red Sox a little more just based on how Luzardo's pitched. And even though the Red Sox haven't hit, maybe they scrape across 3 themselves here, and it's a kind of a low-scoring kind of game. The Phillies have been an under team most of the year anyway. If you look at their overall number, they are an under squad. So official free pick under 8.5 from Kevin Thomas. Listen, this is his free pick. You want his best bets over his top action, head on over to gamblersworld.net. I see WNBA. He's on a little tear here out of the All-Star break, 3-0 with his WNBA. He's not doing the W, as they say. And I see MLB up as well. A salty catch on tap and a money grab today. Three picks, 2 MLB and WNBA. Go get Kevin Thomas's top plays at Gamblers World. Again, he says under the 8.5 here, though, in the video. We'll move on to game number 2. Oh, the disappointment in the air. The Orioles taking on the Cleveland Guardians. This is an interesting kind of matchup here. You got a and I say this based on – it's interesting because Ciccone comes in. The guy was put into the 9th inning. He's cruising along. They're up 8-3. They let him go. All right. It turned into an 8-6 game where you look at a box score and be like, 6 runs, and the guy went into the 9th inning, 8 in the 3rd innings. The funny thing is I was like, wow, they stretch him out. He gets tired, right? You think that's immediately comes into our head. He threw 90-something pitches the game before, like 95, 96. And the game before that, he threw like 105. And he came back with like a 2-run game. This kid's young. He was an Arizona guy. I don't know. You come off a game like that, I'm not really sure how you're gonna respond. Just because you're at your innings high or your pitch count high, and that's a tough way to go down. You leave in the 9th inning, you go 8. I don't know what's the coach doing out there. Either way, here comes Zach Eflin now, Matt. You want consistent? Talk about consistently bad. This guy, he's getting dealt somewhere. Let's be honest. This guy's going to be on the Blue Jays or the Yankees or the Mets or the Dodgers or somewhere. He'll be on a ticket out of town with a couple of these the veterans here because this Oriole team really, really blew it with their young guys. They didn't go all in last year, and this is what happened. So they've got a major reshuffle coming on here in the next week or so. I don't want to steal your thunder if you're going to go on these guys' numbers. He's been terrible.
Yeah.
80 ERA in July, 396 batting average against. What? Oh my goodness. I don't know. This is a kind of a tough spot based on, at least for me. You got a guy coming off a pretty good game, and he got maybe left in a little pitch or two too long, giving up a home run and triple home run and back-to-back doubles before getting pulled. And then you get Eflin. Well, you got something nice to say about Zach? This ain't Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell.
That's a good pull, by the way. Wow, Zach Morris. You remember both names. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, Eflin, yeah, he got traded last year from Tampa and was great at the end of the season for Baltimore. And he was going to be their ace this year, with Corbin Burns, leaving to go. He went to Arizona and whatnot. And, yeah, he's been horrible. And his last 3 starts, he gave up 17 runs. And he had back issues. So he's been on the IL for a month now, had a couple good rehab starts. And as you mentioned, he's going to be on the trade block. This is a spotlight start for him. And whether, he comes through or not, who knows? But I think it's a great buy low spot for him right now. Baltimore season, they're done. Within the next week, they're going to be unloading all these guys. And with Cleveland, they're back to 500, 2.5 games out of the wild card. But, with Ciccone coming up 107 pitch stint 5 days ago, I don't know. And he's got some reverse splits. He has a 2.57 ERA on the road, and at home, he has a 5.40 ERA. So, yeah, I accept. This is one of those contrarian buy low, sell high spots. I'm going to go with Baltimore at the plus money.
The Orioles plus 110 for Matt Fargo. We should not be surprised, though, here. Matt's taking underdog as his official play. I went yesterday, we're talking about him, or I was, and I said, you look at his record, it's under 500, but yet here you are for the last 30 days, under 35 and 36, plus 3,700. 62 and 73, over 3,000. I mean, underdogs are your friends, folks. And Matt's giving you the Orioles stay plus 110. Kevin Thomas, thoughts on this one?
Well, I'm a Zach Eflin fan. But I agree with Matt 100%. I like Baltimore here. I mean, isn't it kind of fishy that it's plus 110?
Yeah.
You got a 50 win team Guardians who are going for a sweep, and they're juiced to minus 135 or whatever it's at right now, but plus 110. I mean, that's just a tell right there in itself. It's going to be kind of like that Mariners game. Cleveland probably sit Ramirez for all we know. Is Quam going to play? You never know in these situations, but Baltimore is going to be sellers with a couple of their older guys in those contracts. Eflin, he's got to put on a good show if he wants to get paid, and everybody wants to get paid in this league. So I'm going to ride with Matt there and take Baltimore on the money line.
Orioles plus 110. Here you go. That's the official free pick for Matt Fargo. Listen, Matt, again, I mentioned he's on a nice little run for MLB. It's not even a nice little run when you're 2-3 months into a season. He's got a 3-pack up. Go get it right now at gamblersworld.net. And listen, with Major League Baseball, we got the end of season pass up right now. Take it all the way through the World Series. You saw it scrolling just a second ago. Comes out to less than $5 a day. Whether that's Matt or anyone else on the site, $5 a day, you're going to get plays every day. You're going to get plays every day. I should say that there might be an off day somewhere in between there. We have playoffs. There could be an off day. I gotta correct myself, or someone's going to be in here complaining about something in October 4th or something. There's no days game scheduled. All right, again, Orioles plus 110, Phillies Red Sox under 8.5. Your final game. I know. Sorry, we didn't give it to Matt here with the Jays and the Yanks. Couldn't give him the game 2 days in a row. But we still got to talk about the cranky Yankees and the first place Blue Jays, Bassett and Mr. Fried, Max Fried on the hill here. I got to say, I think the Jays let one get away yesterday. I had them yesterday. I went 0-2 in my previews yesterday. I had Seattle on the run line. I went late. I'm like, you know what? If they win, they're going to win 3-1 or something. Yeah, it was 1-0. And I had the Blue Jays on the run line, thinking if Scherzer is terrible, I don't want to be laying points or money with them. They had a chance. They were in it. It was tied. But that being said, yeah, that's a game you probably should have taken from the Yanks when you got Max Fried coming out on the hill. Mr. Consistent, Chris Bassett. This guy, 10 wins again. He's done this for 5 straight years. You take out COVID, it'll be 6 straight. This guy every year is going to give you 10, 12, 13, 15 wins, 6 losses, and like a 3.6 ERA. he gets zero love. I mean, this year at home, 7-0, Mr. Perfect in 11 starts. What I worry about here with them is it's still the Yanks, right? The Yanks feel like, hey, as bad as we play, we're right on your heels, and now you're choking. You had a shot to win, you blew it. We're gonna come in here, take 2 out of 3, let you know who's really in charge of the AL. Do I want to take Max Fried here on the road with a blister? I mean, on top of that, as good as he's been this year, July, not so much. 14 innings, 15 hits, 11 runs, 9 Ks, 6 walks to a 6 ERA, 6.4 ERA, honestly. Blisters are tricky, right? We know this with pitchers. You don't know how they're gripping this and that. I can't lay 140 with a guy who might be out in the 3rd inning. He could be out by the second batter. It might be nothing, and he goes 7. I'm going to take the Jays just based on I'm not sure what we're getting out of Fried. I'd rather take the plus money. Again, people say, "Oh, you're what are you doing?" I'd rather take the plus and lose than worry about a possible injury with a guy who was pulled in his last start, who hasn't pitched well. And again, maybe he's got a little tired arm. He had a great first half of the season. Bissett at home, undefeated in 7 starts, respectable ERA. The team's in first place playing well. 120. I'm taking the Jays, Matt. I'm taking your Toronto Blue Jays.
I appreciate that. I really do.
I know you do.
Yeah, I mean, Bassett, like you said, at home, he's been great, but he struggled, against the Yankees this year. And Fried in his last start against Toronto, 17, 20 days ago, whatever it was, he gave up 4. I had the over yesterday, and it ended up being a push. I looked the over again. I think with Fried, he said that with the blister, you don't know. And with Bassett, his struggles against the Yankees, you don't know. And I think we see another high-scoring game. It was 4-1 going into the 8th inning last night. And that was after Scherzer gave up 3 in the first, and there was nothing after that. I think it's going to be different tonight. I think that we see more runs. I like the over. And I do agree with what you said about you'd rather take the plus money than going with Fried with the obviously the minus money. But I think we see runs tonight, and I think we go over the number here. 8.5. Yeah, I like that.
And listen, they got to Bassett for what, 3? He said in their last start, July 3rd, 8 hits in 5 2/3 innings. Did have 9 Ks in that game, but he gave up some runs. Matt says over Yanks Jays 8.5. Kevin, you're the time. What are you doing? Go somewhere else to make it to the 3 picks and people lose their mind. Now we are on 3 different sides.
Oh yeah, Fried has like a .180 batting average against these Yankees. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal, especially if you think about these Yankees. But man, since Stanton has come back, that puts a lot of pressure on a lot of these teams to pitch. Who are you going to pitch to, him or Judge? It's kind of hard. I think that over is a nice play. I think it's going up to 8.5 from 8, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
If I was going to go, I would probably ride that over as well because you got these 2 known pitchers, great records, and then you see the line going up. That's kind of a fishy thing. If I had to bet this, I would have to take the Yankees just because the Blue Jays have the better record, right? And this is for everything, isn't it? This is for the pretty much I feel this series is huge for whoever wins it. I know it's not the end all for the AL East, but still, just seeing that the Yankees are the minus and the Toronto, if I had to do it, I would take the Yankees on the run line because I'm not laying that much juice. I would take them just thinking they might jump out early. I really look at Toronto's bullpen to see how Hoffman's gone two games in a row and the other guy, Garcia. I try to follow the bullpen to see what they did because a lot of these teams won't go more than 2 in a row. So I'd have to look at that a little closer, but for my official pick, I would have to ride the over too, just seeing it going to 8.5 with these 2 great pitchers on the mound.
Kevin likes the over as well. He mentioned the Yankees rolling. That's another way to look at this. Like I'm taking a plus 120 with the Jays, thinking that I'm not getting a full 5 innings from Max Fried, right? That's my cap on this game. I think if he's got a blister problem, they can't they can't afford this guy to be out for 3 weeks. Let's be honest. So if it's even a hint of something, they'll be pulling him. So that is my thought on that. But if you want to take the Yanks because of, you mentioned the Jays versus Max Fried, Kev, with their batting averages. I mean, the best player is hitting. Where was he at here? Where's Vladdy at? 143. 14 at bats. I could see the Yanks winning this one 7-4 or something like that. So that's another plus way to go out if you want to look at that. If you're a Yankee fan, you're like, oh my goodness. Kev brought up the point. 140. They are 140, which is at home. What are they, 2-1 in this spot? That is a big number considering that Toronto is in first place. They played them well this year. They had won, 5-6 in a row in this series coming into last night. And now here a guy with an injury on his finger who needs his finger to throw the ball is a 140 favorite. Food for thought. That being said, screw that food. I don't want that food. It's like vegetables. I'm going to go against that. Peace and take the Jays plus 120.
Well, Sean, it's like this for me. I try not to bet any Yankees games because it's hard to get a read on them because they're like the Dallas Cowboys. They're like Duke. They're like those teams that the public just loves to pound them no matter if they're good or not. So I wouldn't touch this game. The total would be the only way I'd have to go here. The only time I like to bet the Yankees is when I see the line move the other way, a reverse line move, and the public's all over the Yankees. That's the only way I bet them because it's just tough to get a read because the public, they have their favorites, and the Yankees, like Dallas Cowboys, like Duke, they're the public favorites that get bet up the most.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, we talk about that all. We talk about it all the time, like the Dodgers, the Yankees, in baseball, and you said the Cowboys, Duke. Like public money makes a difference, and the markets know that, and you can get value the other way. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's really there in this spot because of the matchup, but 100% correct.
Again, this is a free pick, folks. I don't have this. Sometimes I come in on the free picks. Now, the free pick sometimes makes it into if it's on my 3-pack, maybe I have 5 games up. It's on the ticket. This one is not in it. Not in it at all. Free play, Jays plus 120 from me. It's not my 3-pack. It's not anywhere on my agenda today to be bet on. And again, so I know people say oh, well, why would you give a pick out if you're not? Folks, sometimes the free picks we bet. Sometimes we don't. I send this out on a Sunday way ahead of time. Listen, our best bets, as I always say, gamblersworld.net. Our free picks, Orioles plus 110, Jays plus 120, Red Sox, Philly under 8.5. You want our best bets today. You want what we love and got our money on and we're trying to eat with and get the job done with. That is at gamblersworld.net. Kevin's got you lined up with some WNBA and MLB. Matt's been red hot in Major League Baseball 3-pack. I have a 3-pack. I am off a losing day yesterday. It happens. Always the truth. You see, we have a leaderboard. You click on a guy, you see his record. We don't hide from it. There you go. The salty catch. Love it. Salty catch. When I first saw those little Salt Life pictures on, they got those stickers on trucks. I saw one on an SUV, and there was a chick driving. I thought it said Slut Wife, so I beeped at her. I'm like, hey, what's up? Salt Life, right? If you look at it fast, it looks like Salt Life. That's a joke, folks. I didn't beep at someone or a man, even whatever you think. I just thought it's funny because you look at it the way it's scribbled on there. Maybe I'm just a deviant. Better end the show. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. It's time for you to leave.
Hopefully, everybody got a good laugh. See you all tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.